Hey everybody, welcome to Grounded Roots Healing. I'm Jason and I'm well grounded. So I'm on location here in Bogota at the Botanical Gardens. Spectacular place, right in the middle of Bogota. You can hear the airplanes in the background, the insane traffic. Ooh, it's a bird. I have no idea what species of bird that is, but I found this little grove in the back here where I can kind of sit down and have some privacy, which is unbelievably valuable, especially in a city of 12 million people. 12 million. That's like a third of Canada in one city. To be able to find any peace here is just mind-boggling. It does cost some money, but this is an amazing spot. I highly recommend it if anybody ever does end up in this place. Spend the $10. Yeah, I just wanted to do a quick update from here. I'm probably going to do a longer video a little bit later and I'll splice this in. It's about being grounded and the state that I'm in currently. I think we'll figure it out more as I get closer to the hotel, but something's brewing and I'll be making a video, a longer one shortly. Love you guys. Hey guys. Back at the hotel, the elevation of this city is unbelievably high. I didn't realize it, but just moving around the room is causing me to be out of breath. I've even had instances where I'm trying to sleep and feel like you can't catch your breath because there's not enough oxygen. I'm in Bogota, like I said. I'll have spliced a video in at the front of this, hopefully. I can figure out how. And I'm in a weird stage. So I'm in an in-between stage. What does that mean? None of these trips, these adventures we are thrust into are by accident. They're all designed for us to learn lessons. And then when you learn those lessons, historically has been the case for me, fire alarms or fire trucks. I have a few days at least where it feels like your connection to the source is weaker or non-existent almost. I don't know how to describe that, but anyone who's had a strong connection, that profound knowing where there's no more doubts. Where all the cool things happen, like seeing auric colors when you close your eyes and being able to meditate really easily and go higher. They tend to get dulled, those abilities. And like I said, historically that means that you're grounding in those lessons. So your body has to catch up to what your avatar has to catch up to what your higher self has learned on this realm. So there's a pause. A lot of people call this in between timelines. It's one way to look at it, except that I don't think that we have free will per se. So you're exactly where you're supposed to be, exactly when you're supposed to be there. It's just the way that we've written it, perhaps so that we have the illusion of control, because a lot of the stuff that happens is that for that reason. It's for us to grasp onto something. That grasping is what we're trying to override. We're trying to conquer. Grasping for control, grasping for something to hold on to in this 3D realm. And frankly, you're just here for the ride. That's the way I see it. That's the way I've experienced it. You know, let go and let God. Go with the flow. All of these things are designed to make you let go of control. The ultimate sacrifice, the ultimate trust fall. Trusting that no matter what happens, you're in God's hands. Nothing bad will happen that isn't supposed to happen. So I'm in one of those in-between phases because I came here on this work trip. And if you've watched my last video, you'll know what I mean. I knew this was going to be challenging. It was going to be a very high-level test of my patience, of which I've often struggled with, waiting for things and letting go and not having control. So I knew that was going to be the case when I came here, and it started out very difficult. I should go through the list of things that happened, if I can remember them all. So on the way here, my wife was driving me. We hit traffic right before the airport. I had plenty of time, and then it turns out I didn't have any time. I was going to have to rush. Then I, for some reason, went to the wrong security check-in. I know that when you're going to an international flight at that airport, there's a different line to go in. Didn't occur to me at all. I tried to go through the domestic, so they scanned my boarding pass, which means when I got to security at the international, they pulled me aside because I'd already tried to get in. It wasn't a huge deal. Okay, so then I go to take my shoes off so they can scan them, and I immediately step in some puddle of somebody's drink that it spilled, and it was sticky, so my socks were wrecked. Made it through security, found a new change of socks. Okay, I get to my gate, it's supposed to board, flight's delayed. Leaving, and I have a connection in the US. So I need, and it's a short connection, like an hour, 50 minutes. And I'm supposed to switch terminals in Newark, which is it's a huge ordeal in itself. So I'm not going to make that flight. And luckily I didn't check any bags, but I missed that flight. So mid-flight, I changed my flight to a later flight, which just didn't leave till midnight or 11 p.m. So I had to wait, I don't remember, it was like 8 hours in Newark. I went to the business lounge, which is great. Had a shower, and then that flight was delayed until like 12:30 in the morning. The business lounge closes at 10 p.m. So I had to go find something else to do. Anyway, long story short, I arrived in Bogota at 4 in the morning, 4:30 a.m. And then I had to go check in at 6 in the a.m. by the time I got out there. So there was a delay there. I had to wait. And then the flight into the place where I was going, a town called Yopal, here in Colombia, was delayed. So that there's a blockade of the road to the location where I was going, because the local community wasn't happy with the remuneration that they were getting from the companies that were using that road to pass by their village, which I don't blame them at all. In fact, I support them wholeheartedly over the company I'm working for, certainly. But because of that, the 10 a.m. flight that we were supposed to take, we had to take the 7 a.m. flight, which means I had to get up at 4 a.m. again. So I knew this had been non-stop delays, blocks, and tests. And I knew there was going to be more. And there was. I was not wrong at all. So get to Yopal, drive the 4 hours on the worst roads you could ever imagine. Unbelievable. Beat the living daylights out of you. In a pickup truck. We had to walk, get to the blockade, walk from the vehicle through the blockade to the other vehicle that was picking us up, and then keep going. And then I immediately had to go right to work. I had like a 3-hour nap, and then that was it. I was up for 36 hours with no sleep. And at one point, there was talk of there being a delay of 24 hours. So I was like, oh my God, I get to go to sleep. Isn't this wonderful? And then I thought to myself, I said, this isn't going to work out. So, of course, I went to my room to go to sleep, and then they told me, no, we're gonna go back. You got to come back to work. So I tortured my body. I had to leave that place immediately after sleeping the next night for maybe 6 hours. Come to Bogota again, and that adventure was on those roads was insane. So, long story short, I've had my patience tested nonstop since I left home, and I've passed every one of them. I would say with flying colors. I've never lost my patience once. Even when I thought I was going to get to sleep and I didn't, that was brutal. And I don't enjoy doing this. I don't enjoy torturing my body, my avatar that I respect and I want to take better care of, but I have no choice. So I've been here in Bogota trying to, the higher self, the higher me wants to go out and do all these adventures. But I know my avatar needs a break. So I've had to give it a good break, and I've slept a lot since I've been here. I was going to be here for 2.5 extra days because you can't change flights right now because of airline strikes and things. So I took full advantage of it, and I've been sleeping and eating good food since I got here, and just in general taking care of myself. So this in-between stage, though, is what I've noticed. There is no connection to my higher self. And this morning when I woke up, I wanted to go do the Montserrat cable car. But that's going to be an hour round trip minimum, plus weights and lines and etc. And I just chose to go to the Botanical Gardens where I took the video earlier, which is only 2 kilometers from me. And that was a much wiser choice, and now I'm done for the day. That's enough walking. My body is tired. I need to respect this vessel, and it deserves it. I've spent an entire lifetime of not taking care of this, not getting enough sleep, pushing my body to its very breaking limits, and it shows. I'm pretty gray. And, the alcoholism, all of the stuff that I did to abuse this vessel, it's going to take some time to heal, and I have to have patience for that too. I can't just go out and, I wanted to do the Museum of Gold. There's a church around here that looks amazing, and also the Montserrat cable car, but I got to pick one. Maybe tomorrow, if I'm feeling good enough, I'll go do one more. A museum, probably something flat where you don't have to walk up elevation, because like I said, it's insane here. But this patience, all I want to do was go home, get home, and I've had to be patient again. But I'm passing now. This in between stage, it usually lasts between anywhere from 2 to 5 days, in my experience. And then on the other side of this, after you've passed these tests and lessons, things get even better. So I had been noticing my ability to see auras was increasing, and then it kind of shut down. I can still see it, but it takes a bit of effort. I suspect when I come back online, let's say, this ability will have increased. And yeah, we're in the in between. And then, historically, I'd be like, well, why is this taking so long? And when you get in that space where your connection to your higher self is weaker, it's very easy to get down because you can't feel immediately that connection. So you have to trust that your remembrance of what it was like and your abilities, they're going to come back, and you just need some rest. You need to take some time for yourself. And by yourself, I mean your body. You need to take time. Ground this in. So I went out to that botanical garden, and it was spectacular. It's we're in the middle of 12 million people here. So, it's pretty hard to keep your energy high. And when it starts to drift down, it's a very slow, gradual thing usually. And then you don't even notice that you're ungrounded until you go to a place like that and you put your feet on the ground or you touch a tree, which brought me to tears nearly. There's some trees in that space that are just majestic, ancient trees. They've got plants from every single zone, every single like desert, rainforest. Colombia's diversity is unbelievable. So they have like I said, they have plants from every single one. And some of those trees, those pine trees, were 100 feet in the air. It's just incredible. And they literally brought me to tears. And it's more of a sense of relief because I became extremely grounded, which I haven't been in like a week. So if you haven't been like that in a week and it's built up to the point where you haven't really noticed it, when you touch that tree or you get your feet on the ground, it's like a flush of energy. It just wipes all this low vibrational energy out, and it actually almost always brings me to tears. So I'm the guy who walks around crying at looking at trees. But hey, that's me. That's the true me. And I feel pretty darn good right now. I'm hoping we'll be home in a day and a half or so. So I'm excited to get home, and maybe I'll do a museum tour tomorrow. Send you some video from that. We'll see. But I'm resting because I earned it. Not that I need to earn anything. You don't have to. You should do this. But I certainly have, and my avatar needs it. So I think I'll leave it there, guys. Like I always say, I hope this video finds you well. I love you all, and we'll see you soon.